All right. Today we're welcoming to the show Noah Newton. Say hello.
How's it going, guys?
All right.
What the fuck am I supposed to say?
All right.
I'm just gonna say, hey, guys.
All right. You can just keep that running. We'll just cut it out. All right. All right. So today, welcome to the show, Noah Newton.
Hey, guys.
So today we're just gonna be talking about today's sports. We're gonna be talking about NBA rookies, what the NFL playoff picture is looking like, injuries, things of that nature. So first we'll start out. How do you think the NBA season's going?
It's pretty good. It's looking a lot different than what people thought. And I think there's a lot of good teams, a lot of young talent as well, and should be an interesting ending.
Yeah, it's not even halfway yet, and the Celtics are atop of the East. Man, they had that 17 game win streak. What do you think about that?
That was pretty impressive. Nobody expected it, and it was good for their season.
Yeah, they beat some top teams, such as they beat the Warriors. They lost to the Cavs the very first game, but then I think they beat them again. And it's insane, you know. Isaiah Thomas is coming back today for the Cavs.
Yep, that should be a pretty interesting return for Isaiah Thomas. We'll see how it
Alright,
goes.
so we can start taking a look at the rookies here. I have this page pulled up. It's got a few statistics. A steal in the draft, I think Donovan Mitchell, I think he was drafted number 8 to Utah, and he's the leading scoring average, and everyone thought, you know, Lonzo Ball, is he going to be the next bust, or is he going to be one of LA's greats? So, what do you think about Lonzo Ball?
I think he had a rough start, but he's getting his three-point shooting down. He's making a comeback, I think, and he should be looking better towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people are saying it's his confidence, and over time his confidence is becoming more and more, and he's getting more comfortable. A lot of people are saying he sucks, but if you look at his statistics, you know, he's averaging like 10 points a game, 4 assists, and that's pretty good for a rookie. I mean, he's not, you know, he's not scoring 30 points a game, and he's not being some great, but he's doing pretty good for a rookie. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell, like, it seems like every game that kid has a highlight dunk.
Oh yeah, he's a great player. I think he's gonna have a good season.
He's averaging 18.2 points a game, and right behind him is Kyle Kuzma, who's Lonzo Ball's teammate. A lot of people are starting to say that Kyle Kuzma may have a longer-lasting effect on the Lakers franchise than Lonzo Ball. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's up in the air. Really, he's having a great impact for the Lakers right now, and it's gonna come down to who puts in more work.
To me, the top 4 rookies running for Rookie of the Year right now are Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, and never mind. I couldn't think of that 4th rookie. All right. Well, I'd like Jason Tatum to win because he's from Boston, but you know, it seems like he should be scoring more than 14 points a game. It seems like every time I watch a Celtics game, he has like 20, 25. What do you think about Jason Tatum, considering he's only 19 years old?
I think he has a lot of confidence. He's not afraid to drive and get the foul, get that three-point play. I think he's had a great impact for the Celtics and stepping up because of Gordon Hayward's injury.
Yeah, man, that injury was horrific. So let's transition over to the NFL. Let's see what the playoff picture is looking like. This wild card game right here between the Titans and Chiefs. I thought the Chiefs started out the season like 4-0, 5-0, something like that, and I thought they were going to be some great team, and then all of a sudden now they're playing a game that determines if they're going to be in the playoffs or not. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it was all because of Alex Smith. He was looking really good in the beginning of the season, then he kind of just stopped having those fantastic games, and that's kind of showing as a result of the Chiefs' season.
So, are all of these wild card games? So, if I thought the Falcons were automatically in the playoffs, and so the Falcons and Rams, that's not a wild card game. I think they're both in the playoffs.
Well, the Saints won the division, so they are the wild card.
Okay. All right. So, Patriots have a first week bye. Who do you think they're gonna end up playing?
You know, I think probably going to be the Bills. They're looking pretty good right now, Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. Patriots just let go of Garoppolo 4 or 5 weeks ago. How do you think he's doing over there in San Francisco? And do you think it was a bad decision by the Patriots to release him?
Well, he is doing great. He's won like the last 5 games for him, but I think it just shows that they're confident. They're confident in Brady and that they think Brady will be around for a while. So.
And when I was watching the Patriots game yesterday, Tony Romo, he said that he projects that Tom Brady will win MVP this year. Do you think that perhaps if Tom Brady wins MVP and the Patriots win the Super Bowl, do you think he'll retire after this year?
No, I don't think he will, but I don't think he could win the MVP right now. He's had like an interception in the last 5 games. I think it's not looking good for him right now, but they're still winning, so you never know.
Who do you think could win MVP right now?
It's looking like I don't know. It could be Drew Brees. It could be even Cam Newton. He's looking pretty good.
You know, a month ago I would have said Carson Wentz, but then now that he got that injury, it sucks that. Do you think he's going to be back in time for the playoffs when the Eagles play, or what do you think is going to happen with them?
I think he'll come back next season, but yeah, I think he was a for sure MVP candidate. He was looking phenomenal, really. I mean,
yeah, that whole Eagles team was. I mean, after the 9th week when they still hadn't lost yet, people were already saying that they were going to be dubbed the champions, and it's kind of tough to tell because everything can switch just like that when your star quarterback tears his ACL.
Yeah, but they do still have some leadership on defense, and that's what's keeping them around. Really, I think they'll do all right in the playoffs. Probably not as far as they would have gone, but still looking good for them.
Do you think a potential AFC Championship game between the Patriots and Steelers is possible?
Yeah, definitely. I think because they both had a first-round bye, so it looks good for both of them. That'd be an interesting matchup.
Who do you think would win that one?
I don't know. I'd have to say the Patriots just because they have more weapons and they kind of play more together. Where once you take away like their best player, like Antonio Brown, it kind of puts more pressure on Ben Roethlisberger to make plays, and he's not really good under pressure.
Right. Do you think Julian Edelman will be back in time for the playoffs? I heard rumors that he could be coming back.
I haven't heard anything about that, but that would be good for the Patriots.
Yeah. So, actually, speaking of the Patriots, what do you think about their newly signed James Harrison coming from the Steelers? And do you think that if they end up playing the Steelers in the AFC Championship, that he will kind of play with a chip on his shoulder?
Yeah, definitely. He got a lot of criticism from the Steelers organization, so I think that he's going to use that as his drive and could potentially have a good game against them if that were to happen.
All right, now let's talk about some injuries across sports. What are some pretty big injuries that maybe you found surprising or that you found kind of devastating? Just talk about a few injuries.
Well, definitely Carson Wentz. That was pretty devastating for the Eagles. Just losing him as like a leader, really. I mean, Nick Foles, they've had him around the Eagles organization, so it wasn't that bad of a loss, but that one was pretty big. Gordon Hayward, definitely, first game of the season. I mean, they're expecting big things with him and Kyrie, so that was a pretty big one, too.
What do you think about Deshaun Watson?
I mean, yeah, he was looking pretty good, too. I think he was a MVP candidate, but yeah, that was pretty devastating. That him and DeAndre Hopkins had a pretty good thing going, so that was disappointing.
So we can talk about some college football now. Last night we had I believe it was the Sugar Bowl between Clemson and Alabama just rolled right over Clemson. What do you think about Clemson? Do you think they're the same team as last year without Deshaun Watson, or how do you think they're looking?
I don't think they're the same team, but I think they organized themselves well after losing him, but they still had a lot of young talent coming up, and that was good for them.
Right, and I believe it was the Rose Bowl between Oklahoma and Georgia. Baker Mayfield, do you think he's going to be drafted into the NFL?
He very well could be. He has a lot of talent, but I think it's really up to him. He could go another year if he wanted to, or he could come right in.
Yeah, I personally think he's just a little too cocky. after that game and he ran out on the opposing field and threw the Oklahoma flag right into the midfield. It's just something you really don't do as a leader.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Johnny Manziel in a sense because of his confidence. Or
Yeah,
but
I agree with that. So I heard that a national championship will be between Georgia and Alabama. I mean, Georgia's had a phenomenal season. I think they either undefeated or they've only lost one game this year going against a tough Alabama team. I'm going to go with Alabama just because Nick Saban, he's going for his sixth national championship, I believe. And I think that he's been in that situation before. He knows what he's doing. And I think I read that Georgia's first national championship since like the 80s or something. So I think that being older and more mature, that Nick Saban has kind of an edge over Georgia.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Patriots and Falcons of last year. How the Patriots have always, or not always, but they've been in the Super Bowl a lot, and the Falcons never really had a Super Bowl in the last like 10 years. So I think the Alabama is the Patriots in this sense because the coaching experience and really the team experience. I think that Alabama will win it.
Thank you. Well, that about wraps up our talk today with Noah Newton. So I thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
And Happy New Year.
You too. All right, let's see.
Oh, God.
It's gonna be like, oh, it's 11.